Hi guys, what's up? So, if you're watching this, you probably know who I am. I'm Reality Test. My name is Nika. My real name is Veronica. And I got the opportunity to do something very, very cool with DM7. So, now I'm gonna talk a little bit about myself for 30 minutes, and then for another 30 minutes, I'm gonna play special live for you. I will even put maybe 2 or 3 unreleased tracks for the first time. So it's gonna be really cool. So this is me. I am 30 years old. I was born in Russia in 1990, and when I was 8, we moved to Israel. And then when I was 23, I moved to Germany for 6 years. And this is me, no makeup, no filter. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna do a little bit of upgrade. Here we go. So, when I was 17, I was wondering what I'm gonna do with my life, and I was like, okay, I love psytrance, I love movie sound effects, I love game sound effects, and so I was like, okay, let's start from psytrance. I love the music. How can I make it part of my life? So I found this teacher, and I studied with the private teacher for 6 months, almost every day. And then for the rest of the time, after finishing my studying with him, I studied everything by myself. Now, back then, it wasn't that easy like it is today. Today, you Google psytrance kick and bass, and you have 10,000 results, and 5,000 of them, it's something you can buy or download for free even, and you don't even have to think or work too hard. Back then, I had to do everything by myself, learn by myself, and we had this one forum that was kind of controlled by 16, 17-year-old kids, and we just shared knowledge, shared information, and it was not, most of the time, not even correct information. It was just from our own experience, and it was pretty good for me, because today, because I learned everything in the hard way, today it's way more easier for me. So I compare myself sometimes to younger artists, and because they get it, everything, all the knowledge way more easy, it doesn't mean that they know to do it better. Or anyway, although there is a lot of amazing, like I today, there are few of the younger artists that I think doing a really, really great job. But I can see that it's harder for people to be more creative, because you have everything online, and the moment you have to figure out things by yourself, there come the creativity with this as well. So so I studied, and when I was 18, I went to the army. In Israel, it's obligated, and during this time, I started my psytrance project called Iluchina. It was night full on, kind of like 145 BPM. This is my baby. This is my first project. This project teach me so much. It teach me everything I know today, from managing myself, for music production, of course, managing myself, managing my career, talking to people, performing, everything I learned while I had that project. So I know a lot of you guys don't know my old project, and you all think like, where she came from? I came from nowhere with my progressive sound, but I have a long history from 13 years ago. And anyway, after I finished the army, I went to, I started working in a restaurant, because I had to make money. So I was working like between 12 to 15 hours a day as a waitress. And then I would come back home, no sleep. I would go to the studio. It was a bedroom studio. Like, I had my computer near my bed. And I would develop my music, and slowly I started to get bookings in Israel, in Portugal, South Africa, and Mexico as well. A lot of bookings in Mexico back then. And then when I was 22, 23-ish, I moved to Germany to study sound engineering. Why? Because I didn't make enough money from music production, and I was a bit tired to work in as a waitress, and I decided to try my luck with studying something that will bring me to produce music for produce sound for movies or games. So I went to study in SAE in Germany. It's a pretty big college brand worldwide. While I was studying, I didn't have a lot of time to production because I was studying nonstop. But I was opened up to so many new music styles in Germany. So I decided to get this influence of the other styles. It was mostly techno or this like German style progressive, and I decided to create Reality Test. By the way, the name Reality Test, it was really by mistake. The moment I finished the track, I had to find out a name really quick, and in my Lucina project, I have a track called Reality Test. So I was like going through the names. I was like, oh, Reality Test, this could work. So this is that's the reason. Nothing too special behind it. It was just a pressure decision, but I love it. I'm satisfied with it, and so I went to the studio and I decided to create progressive. Not progressive. I didn't know what progressive was so much. I decided to get the influence of other styles into my production. For a long time, I didn't feel I was unique. I was taking a bit from this, kind of learning, like referencing. I won't say copying, but it's a learning process. But I wasn't so happy. So I decided for a few months not to listen to any psytrance at all. No progressive, no psytrance. And it was a good time because I was in college, and I wasn't in pressure to perform. I just wanted to develop myself. So for a few months, I didn't listen anything related to progressive psytrance. I wanted to see how I will behave when I come to the studio without any other influence of electronic music. So while I was studying, I was making a lot of ambient, chill out. And then after a few months, I sit in the studio with this blank mind, and I decide to work on progressive. That day, there was when Welcome to Vice was born. And I get chills. This track is really special for me because, like I told you, I was so satisfied with this track. I didn't feel it was like aiming to some style. It was me. It was fully me, transparent. But at the same time, I wasn't sure if this will help to my career, because I didn't knew this scene. It was all new for me. And that week, Kobe Blastoise came to my house to Germany. He traveled to Germany to visit me. We're friends for 14 years or something like that. And I asked him like, what do you think about this track? Because I didn't have any opinion. I just loved it because it's me. But I didn't knew how the rest is gonna react to it. And he's like, Nika, this is a very good track. You have to release it. And then I released it, and the rest is history. Yeah, so I started the Reality Test project. Things started to go really fast, to run really fast, because I had a lot of knowledge from my Lucina project. Like I told you, I had the knowledge about the management and the performance, and just how to deal with all this pressure suddenly. And yeah, that was when the project was born. Before my first time in Brazil. You know what? Let's go have a glass of wine outside. I'm gonna tell you. Hi. So, when I did Welcome to Vice, I was performing during this time as a Lucina in South Africa. And I asked a favor from the organizer to put Reality Test on the lineup. It was really unknown project, like nobody knew it, and he was really kind and he put me on the lineup, and he also put me in a very good hour. So I wanted to do it because I needed material, like, you know, my card to enter the scene. And I made a video of me playing Welcome to Vice, and this video got a bit viral. And this was the time where DM7 saw me, and they decided to bring me to Brazil to create a tour to check how my music worked in Brazil. And I think it was 2016 or 15, I don't remember exactly, but I played, my first show was Sound Tribe in Vitoria. And I played at night as well as Lucina, and then in the morning I played Reality Test for the first time, and the energy there was, oh my God, like I never expected to something like this, like it happened there. I think, like, you know, I can't say what was my best set there for me, but this set is something really to remember, because I expect 10% of what I got. Like, this is the truth. I didn't expect it gonna get so massive there. And this was basically my start in Brazil. Until today, I did 90 shows in Brazil. So from 2016, less or more, until 2020. Every show that I do there, it's so special to me that I feel like it's my first ever show, because the crowd is so important for me there. I really want to, I don't know what's the word, to, the most simple way to say it is just to make them smile all over again. Just do my best every show. If I have a show in Brazil, I work so hard. Like, it doesn't matter if it's gonna be 500 people show or 10,000 people show. For me, I work as hard as it is Tomorrowland set. Like, you know, that Tomorrowland is one of the biggest festivals in the world. The energy there, after, when I'm back from Brazil, I want to create more. I'm inspired. So it's a very important place for me. So, you know what, it's a bit cold here, so I'm gonna go inside. To be honest, let's talk for a second about being a female in a male-dominated scene. I never understood why it happening, but I did have some struggles when I just started. I'm talking with you about 13 years ago, that I didn't get as much support that I thought I'm gonna get. I think people didn't really believe that I can do it. It made me even more motivated to work harder. And so it has advantages and disadvantages, because to be open, today in the scene there is a lot of female producers that it's way more easier to promote a girl. So there's a lot of ghost production, and it's all about the looks and the show itself. And then girls like me, and there's a lot of other girls that also get the same reaction, that because of all this ghost production that's going around, people don't believe that I do it myself, or they don't believe that I will actually continue doing it as I'm doing it right now. So at the beginning it was really, really hard. I didn't get the support, and then it made me even more motivated to do what I do and do it even better than everybody. Like, this was my goal. Like, I have to show myself, not to anybody else. I never try to show to someone that I'm better than someone. Never. I needed to show to myself that I am as good and I am as motivated and as I think I am, and never to give up. So I got a lot of bad response, and then with years I started to see the difference. I want to believe that people like me work hard with time and never stop, I try to believe that I gave this motivation to people to see girl producers in a different way. And I'm still trying. I'm really fighting hard for it all the time. Until today, a lot of times I get, like when I'm mixing in a party, I get comments like, she doesn't really mix. And I'm like, okay, guys, it's not a rocket science, okay? It's really not a rocket science to mix. The hard work is in the studio. To mix today is the easiest thing you can do. So when you comment to people like, this guy's not really mixing, this girl's not really mixing, it's not a rocket science. Everybody today can learn to mix in 1 hour. I swear. If you want to do it the easy way, you can learn it in 1 hour. If you want to do it the hard way, it takes practice. Okay, but I'm doing this for 13 years. Those comments sometimes, at the beginning, they were influencing me, and then I just said, like, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm worth, and just fuck it. So, when I started, there was not a lot of, even today there is not a lot of female producers, but back then there was Massive, Dali, Zcat until today. Actually, not like back then. I really admired her, and today she's a very good friend. I'm very happy with what she achieved. It was hard to be influenced by females. You didn't have a lot of girls producing, but each one that you had was a different style. So I more looked at their power. Like I told you, it was hard for me to to put myself in some spot. So I was really admired by them, being admired. Today I have a group called She Sound. I let a good friend of mine, Carol, access code to manage this group. The group called She Sound, and we collecting girls producers, and we try to motivate them to not stop producing, because I know how hard it is as a female in this industry. So we are trying to do our best to bring more females to the scene. I'm very tired of hearing the sentence like, you're the best female producer. No, I don't want to hear it. I want to hear you're the best producer. Like, why? I don't like to be compared to a group of 5 girls in the world in Psytrance. It's not fun. So my goal is to see in 5-10 years from now that we have the same amount of girls as guys. And I am gonna cook now something because I'm really hungry. So about a year and a half ago, I joined Alteza Records. It's a label managed by Vini Vici, and I think it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, music-wise and career-wise. First of all, opportunity to work with people like Vini Vici and Blastoise, and also got the opportunity to have new crowd from new styles of from other genres, listening and respecting Psytrance. I think the fact that we can bring the sound to more areas of the world is, I'm grateful for it. To be in this circle where we have the opportunity to do this. I can see it also in my bookings. I'm booked in places that I never even thought I'm gonna be ever booked there. Like I told you, like in Tomorrowland instead of Trans Dream State. I have EDC Las Vegas now. Unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, it got delayed, but it's still gonna happen in October. And also, music-wise, it opened my eyes wider. When you influenced by certain, I will say, countries, crowds, you like without even noticing, you start to have your music a bit mind closed and go into a certain direction. But because we're a lot of time also scared from the reaction of the crowd, how they're gonna comment, are they gonna like it? But today I am, because I had the opportunity to perform in places that not a lot of psytrance artists get to perform there. I feel that when I sit in the studio, my mind is open. If I do something, I'm not gonna say to myself, but maybe they're not gonna like it. Eventually it's gonna talk to someone. Eventually my sound is gonna talk to someone that wanna hear it. And it's something hard to achieve. When you start to be more successful, it's something really hard mentally to achieve because you're scared of losing what you have. But the moment you do come to this point where you say, I'm doing what I like, and if somebody don't like it, it's not a problem. I don't like a lot of styles of music. I don't like a lot of tracks. People that are gonna like it are gonna really love what I am trying to give to what I'm trying to represent. I think my biggest dream, unrelated to music, is to have my own restaurant. I love cooking, I love food, I'm a super foodie person, I love like good wine, good food. I also like when I was younger, when I used to work in restaurants, when I used to work in restaurants, I know it's gonna sound weird, but I really love this whole feeling of having almost every day the same people to talk to, and like if you know the customers, and like making like giving something to people that they're gonna really enjoy and love and remember, because food is also art. Yeah, so my biggest dream is to open my own restaurant. I'm planning to do it in 5 years, because I need time for music now more, and there is time for everything. So, and my biggest dream as a musician, I'm really living it right now. I'm really happy with where I am in Brazil. I'm really happy where I am right now in Europe in my career. And then I had other goals, like I had a dream to play in EDC, and now I have it. So I'm living it. I'm sure after I do this year EDC again, EDC and Tomorrowland again, I will have new goals. But for now, I'm really happy with where I am. And while this is cooking, I am planning for you something really, really special. So by the way, this is my house. It's my little cute house. My bedroom, I'm cleaning now, so and my studio. Now it's a bit mess because I brought everything for the live stream. Yes, I can't wait. I'm gonna play for you something so special. Okay guys, so I'm gonna eat and then I'm gonna see you in my studio.
Live your life for just one night, no looking back. 'Cause tonight we'll make it right.
And I can tell you, you'll have to see. Let me show you, I'll set you free. A world unknown, pure ecstasy. No looking back, just come with me. Yeah. just one night, no looking back. 'Cause tonight will make it right. And I can't tell you, you have to see. Let me show you, I'll set you free. A world unknown, pure ecstasy. No looking back, just come with me. And take a chance. Live your life for just one night. No looking back. 'Cause tonight will make it right. And I can't tell you, you have to see. Let me show you, I'll set you free. A world unknown, pure ecstasy. No looking back, just come with me. Yeah.
उमापति महादेव शंकर शिव बोले, उमापति महादेव शंकर शिव बोले, उमापति महादेव बोले 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 बोल शंकर शिव बोले, उमापति महादेव शंकर शिव बोले, उमापति bole bole
Кажика Пурадината Каля Байрагам Баче Devaraja Sevamana Pavana Kripankajam Yalayana Satramendu Shikkaram Kripakaram Naradadi Yogi Vrinda Vandidam Digambaram Kajika Puradinata Kala Bairamam Devaraja Sevamana Pavana Kripankajam Yalayana Satramendu Shikkaram goes down at night and take me to a place where I know I feel alive. Maybe I can watch the sunset into your eyes. Save me. And all we need is love, yeah. And always with each other to wake me up when the sun goes down at night. At night. At night. At goes down at night. Wake me up when the sun goes down. Love, yeah, and always with each other to wake me